Hi, and welcome to our NFL Week 6 picks, brought to you by O'Kell's Fireplace in Hermosa Beach, California, for all your fireplace and fireplace accessory needs. O'Kell's, friendly people, friendly fireplaces. Go online to okellsfireplace.com to order. Last week, we were 3-2. We are now 15-10 on the season. That's pretty good. 15 times we've gone to Sizzler. 10 times we have had Hamburger Helper. Let's start with the picks. We'll start with the Packers at the Buccaneers. This is Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady. This is reminiscent of the Michelangelo Leonardo da Vinci matchup at the 1504 Palermo Arts Fair, sponsored by Delco Auto Parts. By the way, da Vinci hated Palermo. Got food poisoning there one time when he ate at the city's only Wiener Schnitzel. Okay, Rodgers versus Brady pretty much comes down to this. Rodgers is in his prime. Brady is just past his prime. Rodgers also has the better team at this point. In addition, last week against the Bears at game's end, Tom Brady forgot what down it was. Then again, at his age, I'll bet he doesn't even remember that he leaves his helmet in his locker between practices. Anyway, on the Bucs' final drive, Brady threw an incomplete pass on 4th down and stayed on the field thinking he had another down. In his defense, when Brady was with the Patriots, he often was given a 5th down at home games that no one seemed to notice. He's a Buck now. 4 downs is the limit, my man, in the rest of the league. I'll take the Packers here, -1. Move on to the Cowboys versus the Cardinals. The Cowboys at home. The Cardinals are favored in Dallas, partly because most folks have left the Cowboys for dead. The Cowboys' defense stinks. Dallas has given up 34 or more points in its last 4 games. And Dak Prescott now out for the season, which brings us to Andy Dalton. Why do people love to rag on Andy Dalton? What is he, chopped liver? By the way, I love chopped liver, so someone needs to find a better expression. Andy Dalton, my friends, is quite serviceable. 32 years old, healthy. In his 9 years with the Bengals, he had a winning record as a starter. Plus, he has a secret to success: the color of his hair. Oh, yeah. It's like in boxing. Boxers don't like to face left-handed boxers because they hardly ever see them, and it kind of screws them up. Well, NFL defenders don't like to face red-headed quarterbacks. It just screws with their mind. And I can't think of a red-headed quarterback in NFL history who's had a losing record. Just Brandon Weeden doesn't count. Don't even think about Brandon Weeden. And, of course, there was Sonny Jurgensen. He might have had a losing record back in the day, but his teams all stank, and he was in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So stop arguing with me. The redhead Andy Dalton will be fine. I'll take the Cowboys +2 in that one. Texans are at the Titans. The Titans are 4-0. And suddenly Ryan Tannehill is the sexiest quarterback in the NFL. I've even heard arguments this week that Tannehill is just as good as Patrick Mahomes. Please, I don't have time for this right now. I'll bring that up with my therapist later today. Yes, Tannehill is playing fabulously. But the Titans' first 3 victories came by a total of 5 points. 5 points total over the Broncos, the Jaguars, and the Vikings. If you took the Broncos, Jaguars, and Vikings to a pawn shop, you wouldn't even walk out with enough cash to buy a venti cafe mocha at Starbucks. Now, the Titans then did kick the Bills all over the field this week, and, the Bills are pretty good, so that was impressive. But here is the thing. Here is the key. That game was played on Tuesday night. Nobody in the NFL ever plays on Tuesday night. So when the Titans woke up Wednesday morning, they thought it was Monday morning. When they woke up Thursday, the Titans thought it was Tuesday. On Friday, they'll believe it's Wednesday. When they get to Sunday, they won't even realize they have a game that day. They might even forfeit. And even if they show up, I'm taking the Texans. Nobody likes the Texans. I like the Texans. And I think the Texans win this game outright. I'll take the Texans +3. Woo, boy. I know what I'm talking about. The Giants are favored over the Washington football team. The Giants are 0-5. Okay. How many 0-5 teams in the NFL are ever favored? Well, if you're playing a dysfunctional 1-4 team, with no nickname and no real starting quarterback, and one of the 5 worst sports owners of the 21st century, I guess you can be favored. And the Giants have actually played pretty well in a few of their losses. And they certainly have played better than their East Rutherford roommates, the Jets, who are also 0-5 and rumored to be the cause of that stink off exit 17A on the New Jersey Turnpike. Anyway, it pains me to have to pick this game because, as many of you know, I hate mentioning the Washington football team. It is ridiculous to keep saying Washington football team. I hate saying Washington football team. I will not say Washington football team any more than I have to. And no matter what they're called, because of their despotic owner, Dan Snyder, I will never like the Washington football team. I hope the Washington football team loses this game in particular because I am taking the 0-5 Giants, giving 3 points. And that brings us now to our weekly Colander pick of the week. Colander picks 62% since 2010. Well, somebody please explain to me how the Bears are 4-1. Somebody? Anyone? It's absurd. They have a horseshoe stuck up their butt. They won their first 3 games against the Lions, Giants, and Falcons. Those teams are combined 1-13. Then the Bears somehow beat the Buccaneers last week, partly because Tom Brady thought he got 5 downs on his team's final drive. The Bears, 27th in the NFL in offensive yards. They have a turnover ratio of -1. When you are minus with turnover ratio, you usually are a losing team. So the Bears, my friends, they at 4-1 are overachieving. They are overachieving like Lyle Lovett overachieved when he married Julia Roberts. Yes, Lyle Lovett was once married to Julia Roberts. You don't believe me? Google it. What, you don't even know who Lyle Lovett is? Google it. I don't have time for this nonsense. The Panthers should win this game at home. I'm taking the Panthers -1.5. That's it for you. Remember, 3-2 last week, 15-10 overall. It's amazing I keep doing it. How do I do it, my friends? Yes, I am a left-handed genius.